Hey, what's up everyone? RoyalFlush here. Welcome to Marvel Rivals. My build here for Marvel Rivals, I beat Nightmare 4 just last night with my friends using Thor. And I want to show you my build just so you guys know, and also I'll probably even include the run itself so you can see everything in action. But let's get right into the build itself. So Thor. So most Thors will always go for the blue build, and yes, this is undoubtedly probably the best build to go with. Also, your attacks, I mean, you're not using regular Mjolnir Bash very much, but use this one. It's better than your default Mjolnir Bash because it adds Chain Lightning. This ability here, this actually is extremely useful. Concussion Cell, it stuns them, and if you do it in the air and combined with his ult that we're going to explain, they will get stunned and stand up for a second and then fall back down. So it's really good for stalling. And also if you use it to stall like corners and stuff where they're going to try to peek out of, very useful, so you can get your cheap shots in. And then your ult, you want the Thunderclap Surge. When you use the ult, the smaller enemies, normal size enemies, basically anything that's not a giant size boss or your sentinels, they will fly up, but not based off the circle. If you move to the direction of enemies, they will fly up like it's a wave at a stadium. Okay, so Thunderclap Surge, this is the one you want. It might be annoying when you use it at times, but if your team coordinates around it, you could buy them time. And speaking of buying time, this is when I'm going to show you my build, because this is the most important part. Okay, so let's focus on the red. So most players will tell you do not use the red cards, but for my build, I like to get it to level 60. Okay, at level 60, firstly for one, when he's unstoppable and you get the free steering, plus piercing, Thor is way more mobile during his storm surge. Okay, so because his default storm surge, it's not gonna get you out of trouble, and it's just gonna smack into another enemy when, say, you need to escape a one-shot. Not what you want. So you need, I recommend, if you want the mobility of not having to stick around to just shooting lightning and stuff, get this thing at least to 60 red cards, okay? But now that comes to question, what red cards do we need here, okay? Well, lastly, though, you don't really need the 3. 3 is kind of extra. It could be, I would say, going that route, because you just want the unstoppable and removing the cooldown, okay? Also gives you damage reduction. So there's a lot of cards that you should avoid. There's a lot of red cards that you really don't need, but in order for this to work, we still need to obtain a few red cards. So which ones would you want? I would say, firstly, avoid the 1 cost ones and just get the 3 or 5 cost ones if they exist. So you want Rune Fountain. This one's good. You need at least 2 of these, because in order for Thor to stay up in the air, you need Storm Surge to not cost anything. So that's Rune Fountain. So get 2 of those. We want 1 Storm Chaser. This is what will allow him to actually fly out of danger and keep himself long enough in the air to do another one at the cost of no. The Thor Force will already recover by the time he's still suspended in the air. Okay. If you want to do the damage, fine, but I would actually say the health upgrades to Storm Surge would be more useful. So the 100 and the 200 ones, also fine. Ones to avoid, though, you have to avoid this one. You do not want to be a bigger target. Stormfog form, do not get this card. If you're a bigger target, you're going to die soon. Okay? Doesn't matter how much extra health you get, or the increase of the hitbox size of Storm Surge. Please avoid it. Otherwise, make sure you only get 1 Storm Chaser. You only want 1 Storm Chaser. Although otherwise, you could just upgrade your Storm Surge so that gives you health. But honestly, reducing the cost as much as possible until you notice that it's not reducing much Thor Force. That's the way to go. So at least 2 of these Storm Surge. So that should do it for Reds. You do not need Thunder Torrent. After trying this move out, it actually wastes more Thor Force, which is what you don't want to do. So avoid this card. And health, any of the bonus health for Storm Surge is also good. So you can get as many of those as you want, but not too many. Otherwise, avoid most of it. Okay, on to blues. Honestly, the entirety of blue is good. If you do not, obviously you need Endstorm. This is honestly where Thor's damage really comes from. All the rest though, try to focus again the 3s, the 5s, and the 10s. So if you see if you see these common versions of any of these multiples here, like there's my power prolongation. Skip the lower versions and only go for the quality higher versions, because notice, here's the level 1 version, 8% Awakening Rune. If you get the 3, you're getting way more. So I think spending 2 of these or 1 of these for 3, I think you're getting a lot more mileage out of that. So please prioritize the 3 and the 5s. Ones you want to make sure you get many of as much as possible. It's a Cranium Crusher. Cranium Crusher. If you get this one, this is the card you absolutely need many of as you can, because what it does, it gives you headshot damage, and that means that once you're at 60 on Awakening Rune, which gives you the piercing, you're not just headshotting the guy in front, you're headshotting all of them. So try to get as many of these as you can. If you don't get Power Prolongation or Rune Recycle, then the duration of Awakening Rune is also good, because just because it's a rare card doesn't mean you're going to get it every time. Also, Endstorm being a rare, it's quite necessary, so you only need 1 of these. You do not need multiple Endstorms, you only need 1. Okay, that turns him to a freaking turret of lightning shots from his hand. Okay? Otherwise, purple, purple's the same for everybody, okay? Purple, you just want you want your Vampiric Vitality, okay? You can get these from time to time. Full moons give you more money to deal with. But the big ones are your Power Surge, maximum health. The only ones that you want the lower versions of are damage dealt and damage reduced. If you see those, go ahead and pick them up. But otherwise, for the health, just stick to your 3s and 5s. You could skip the 30. Do not get the 30. Okay, but as on minimum, you would like to get at least 10,000 health. So that way, with all the damage reductions you're doing, you should be able to tank some of the heavier hits from any of the Stunning Wanda bubbles. Vampiric Vitality, obviously with all the damage you're doing, keeps you alive. And the damage you're doing, Power Surge. Okay, make sure you get those. Those will all add up. You can skip the Primordial Frost, Lucius Thunder. You don't need these ones. If you're not gonna be out of battle, as long I don't think that includes the Stalling Technique, but if it does, cool. But you're only using the Stalling Technique to bring your allies back, okay? Because if you're the only one around and you're able to fly around for 10 seconds and stay out of damage and farm, that's the reason why I use the red build with at least 60 on red. So, but this is kind of unnecessary. You're gonna do way more damage doing damage. We're gonna cover more health by doing damage. So stick to that. Also, when you use your ult. So, okay. But with all that, that's the build. Hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, Thor's really fun. You'll see in my run that I will use the Stalling Technique and go to the corner just to survive. If I see 2 or 3 KOs on my side, I make sure to escape. And then when they're all back, they're all drawn to me, and allies can get the jump on the enemies that are focused still on my flying Thor, and make your way out back into the fight. Okay, well, good luck out there. Hope you get the Queenslayer. There's a link to the video in the next slide here. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.